AI underlies basically most of what we do. We were the first integrator back in 2022 here in Virginia and a few places globally. We went live with an axle counting system that uses video and AI
Yes, I think I've seen
to
that.
count axles. And back in 2020, we went live also here in Virginia, actually, with we are actually the biggest video occupancy detection provider. We count individuals
Yeah.
in cars. That's AI, of course.
Yeah, of
And
course.
it's here, and you've driven probably 495, 395, 95 here, and 66 in Virginia, and that's AI looking into cameras looking inside vehicles and AI counting
Yep.
people and discounting various attempts to cheat the system. And people are endlessly inventive, so there's a lot
That's so
of work
crazy
for
to
AI
me.
there to keep up.
My aunt is a notorious cheater. Like when I tell her don't drive over here because you're gonna get caught. But she does it out in California sometimes too, and I'm like,
get
don't
her.
stop it. Like they're gonna get you, Aunt Bonnie. Like they
gonna-
don't realize
throwing her
how
under the bus.
advanced it is because it is. You just can't put a dummy up front, right?
No.
Your technology is picking up movement. It's picking up natural face structures. Like the stuff out there is way advanced. It's not dummy proof, so to speak.
It's amazing what people come up with. There will be there was a person who was driving who glued two faces to the back of the back window of the car. Glued two faces, pretending that he had two more passengers there. Of course, we're
way.
looking at the car from the front and from the side.
Yeah.
So we may see even the faces are visible from the front. There are no people there if you look laterally, or vice versa, right? If
crazy.
you're doing something and you're putting a face in your window here, we're gonna look from the front. We see there is no person, but there was a person that I kid you not that did that. They just glued two faces. Dummies, you name it. Amazing, amazing inventiveness.
You should have a campaign that compiles some funny videos of what people have
Yes,
done.
that would be the absolute
To make
best.
sure-
video.
Actually,
Like, make
that's why you guys are marketing
Yeah.
genius.
See that? Give us a call. This episode is brought to you by CSG. CSG's SaaS solutions optimize every step of the tolling journey, from billing and payments to customer engagement, helping agencies maximize revenue through smarter, more integrated experiences. Make more, save more, and do more. Visit csgi.com.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Toll Talk Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Kalie Jakovics.
And I'm Alex Fakeri.
And today we have a very special guest,
Very
Saida.
special.
Yes, Saida Williams, the Commercial Director of Traffic and Infrastructure at Indra. Saida, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. First of all, I didn't expect to be asked. Very exciting. We've had some really impressive speakers over the past few years. So to join their ranks is quite exciting, a huge honor. Really appreciate the invite.
Oh, that means so much.
Yeah,
We're so
yeah,
glad to
absolutely.
have you. I know we definitely have some history on, we've known you for a while, so it's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah. Like I think of any of the guests, I mean, I would say, you and I have one of the most notable backgrounds, I think, in my tolling career for myself. And, so why don't you tell everybody like how we met?
We can start with that actually.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I take credit for Mojo's triumphant run through websites in tolling, and marketing, and the quite an impressive space you've carved for yourself, guys. And imagine, imagine that if I didn't send that one email. I'll tell the story, Alex.
Yeah.
So I think it was, what was it, 2018, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
And,
17, 18, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had an RFP that had an allocation to a veteran-owned small business.
Yeah.
And so I thought, website would be good. That's a good scope to give to a small business.
Right.
So it was a back office RFP, and I sent a bunch of emails, and there was one small business that was engaged, active, asking questions, understanding answers, because tolling websites aren't just any websites, right?
Right.
The
Right.
customer self-service websites that need to be working to keep tolling customers happy, which isn't easy, as
Yeah.
we all know. It's quite a task. And so that was a very, very good experience. And so it was a small startup owned by this guy named Alex. And they were the most responsive, most engaged, most capable of all. And we,
Appreciate that.
selected that little startup to be our partner in the back office self-service. And from there, and
The rest is history.
The rest is history. Yeah.
I take credit.
Yeah.
No, you should, and I'm just amazed how that just kind of started off, and now look at us all these years later. It's just kind of like, you never know. And we always talk to people, how'd you get into tolling, right? And I said, it was, this now friend that I met, her name is Saida Williams. She gave me a call, and now here we are, subject
Open
matter
doors,
experts, right? In this
Exactly.
industry.
Yeah.
So
You never know where the next road leads, right? So
there you go. That's actually a good slogan for the show. Where
That is.
you never know where the next road leads. That's good.
Yeah. Let me write
Also
that down.
coined by you. See, look at that.
that's right. Yeah, me and Robert Frost
That-
talking about roads.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, before we get too into
Yeah.
tolling, infrastructure, all the things, tell us a little bit of where are you calling in from? Where are you located? Tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about yourself.
We're almost neighbors, not quite, but I am in Arlington, Virginia. There's always a temptation to say, "Oh, DC," but DC purists would tell you, "No, Northern Virginia, you are not DC." So we're metropolitan DC area, and in Arlington. We have an office in Fairfax, which is where I work out of, and right now I'm at home actually. The this area, of course, is home to a lot of toll roads.
Yeah.
So it's a very good place to be.
Absolutely. That's great. And how long, so why don't you tell a little bit, tell us a little bit about your career. Like, how did you end up at Indra? Like, what has your career path been like?
Again, like yours started with an email, mine started with a text
Oh,
from a
okay.
recruiter. I'm in DC area, so I was working for a federal contractor in defense and energy, and I was getting a little restless, and I got a text message from this recruiter, and I was John Freund's recruiter from Kopsch at the time. That's where I started my career all these years ago. So that was 2014.
Okay. Wow.
And I said, "Oh, tolling, what is tolling? Wow, okay, interesting." I talked to the recruiter. It's a whole world out there. My first toll road, actually, that I drove, and I got my first Easy Pass transponder. I was living in Leesburg, which is a little bit further west, and I was commuting to Reston towards DC using Greenway. Greenway was my first toll road, my first Easy Pass transponder years ago. But I didn't really think about tolling, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was cool. I had a transponder. But I had like an easy time commuting. It was a very nice, easy drive, clean, beautifully maintained road, great experience. But again, you don't think about tolling.
Yeah.
It's in the background. How this all comes to be is a whole industry, is a whole world out there. So when I started talking to the recruiter, I was like, okay, this is quite something that's sort of one of these things that make life better,
Yeah.
more convenient. Gives you choices. You don't think about what it takes. And so when I when I started working in tolling, actually, it's one thing what gets you started in tolling.
Right.
The other thing is what keeps you in tolling, and that's actually the real story. Because when I started back at Kopsch at that time, Dan Tui, who was working for Kopsch, using he was working with Easy Pass system with the hardware procurements that they had, and he said tolling is really kind of a very small tight industry actually, and it's a family. Once you get started in tolling, you never leave. I was like, nah, I can't be right. What are you talking about? It's my first or second day. It's just and he was right.
Yeah.
It is a family. We are you know, after COPS, I went to work for ETC. After ETC, I came to work for Indra. I've been at Indra for 3.5 years now. So it's been over a decade, and I've met so many people, and we are now competitors and friends,
Yeah.
or associates and friends. And because it is such a small industry, you stay not only because it's a good industry to be in,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
because when we go to conferences, it's like a high school
It
reunion.
is.
It really
It
is.
is
That's
so
well said.
fun.
High school reunion.
it is quite, you go to see your friends. You're not going because it's a dreaded duty.
Yeah.
You're
That's very
excited
true.
because you're going to see people you haven't seen for half a year, sometimes a few years. And it is very exciting and it is a lot of fun. We get a lot of good work done. There's a lot of exchange of ideas, a lot
Yeah.
of information. Those are very valuable from the business standpoint. Absolutely. But also every time we meet, there's so much personal interaction. There's so much affection and liking. I think this industry is unique. I don't know that there are industries like that out there, and that's what keeps you here.
Yeah.
That,
No,
yeah.
I will affirm that. Like there's we've before Mojo, made its way into tolling and infrastructure, we played and dabbled in a lot of verticals, and I can tell you that this was the most unique experience we had ever had. And
Yeah.
I remember calling. Well, I don't know. It was Brian had once told me, he was like, "Hey, you need to go check out this IBTTA thing. Like, if you like what you're doing." I'm like, "Okay." And I remember going there, and I'm like, I had heard it's small, but it's
Yeah.
impactful and it's really close. And I'm like, well, this is gonna be kind of weird. And I went there. I'm like, holy cow! Like, this is exactly what they said. And I remember calling Kalie and
Yeah.
Mark. I'm like, guys,
We've got to go back.
yeah, like I'm in Anaheim, California right now. Like we're coming back. Like this is definitely kind of like our space. And yeah,
Exactly.
so yeah, no, but I echo what you say. I mean, it is really the relationships. So
Yeah, and you're involved in a lot of groups. I
Yeah.
mean, especially heavily with IBTTA. Do you want to share kind of what does your role look like in IBTTA and relationships there?
Actually, this year I have the privilege, an unexpected privilege, to serve as the chair of the IBTTA's Council of Platinum Sponsors.
Oh,
Again, talking
congrats.
about one big family, somehow they voted me in. I was more surprised than anybody else, I think.
You deserve
Huge
it.
surprise, but certainly I knew I could count on their support and I could take on the challenge because it really is. I'm not alone, right? Just this is an organization that we lead it together. Um, so as a chair, I definitely rely on the rest of the group to come up with ideas, do everything together, right?
Yeah.
Figure out how we're going to manage the rest of the year and accomplish deliverables, accomplish what we set out to do. So we can look back at this year and say, okay, we've done what we thought we could do. We've have that sense that we've contributed to the industry, to the
Right.
advancement of technology, and then this year actually it is special because we are continuing the implementation of IBTTA's strategic 5-year plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
so everyone, all the industry groups, including Council of Platinum Sponsors, we both have aligned behind that. So
Yeah.
our goals are aligned with supporting working groups, working the teams, the initiative teams. The COPS is all in, and we are kind of organizing around the leaders, IBTTA leaders of the domains
Sure.
to support. That's our focus. At the same time, of course, there are some things that we have to do to kind of remain a cohesive and supportive council of platinum sponsors, make sure IBTTA has a healthy support from
Yeah.
the leading integrators and leading consultants in that space. So those are the things we're working on with Council of Platinum sponsors, and of course, I with domains requiring as much support as they do. I volunteered for a couple because they sounded either they really needed support I could see,
Yeah.
or they sounded particularly fun, like something I would want to do. For example, in advocacy, right?
Yeah. Sure.
I think the value of tolling to the public what it brings, the choice they bring. I think we have such, I think it comes with the word tolling, first of all, we're undervalued.
Oh, yeah.
And so we probably need to change the language so the public understands what we bring. We're not just tolling, we're providing choices. There are no free roads, right?
Yeah,
That is a
that's
great,
true.
Yeah.
great slogan. So having that perception, improving that perception, which frankly is just not fair,
Right.
is really, I think, is a key activity for us, and it affects everything else that we do. So this is something I thought would be fun. I would love to help with.
Yeah.
That's one of those things. That's basically it,
Yeah.
what I'm focusing this year. Next year, when I hand over the
The reins.
chairmanship to Chris Mwawanda, I will look for something else,
There you
somewhere
go.
else I can contribute. And of course, part of it is you contribute, you do something valuable,
Sure.
and you spend time with people you respect and like,
Absolutely.
which is the IBTTA community.
Yeah.
Well, and with IBTTA Tech just behind us, I would assume that was a major ramp up. Now, like, you think you got annual coming up. I'm just kind of curious as to, with IBTTA fresh in your mind, obviously you've spent a lot of time in the tolling industry. What is it? I'd say if you look over the past decade that you've been in there, from your perspective, how's it evolved? Like, what are you seeing?
It's interesting. I think I haven't seen, when I got started, there was an idea to begin reducing infrastructure that a toll system requires to run on the roadside.
Sure.
And the idea was, let's at least try to take things overhead, reduce the civil works in the ground. And that was a very innovative and crazy idea, and it really didn't take root for a few years.
Sure.
Because the tolling industry, tolling systems are revenue systems, right? So risk tolerance is naturally low, particularly with public agencies where they are answerable to the public as to how their investments are paying off.
Yeah, exactly. And the other, I'm sorry to interrupt real quick. The other side of that is, and I've said this before, but I think it's really relevant. You can't be bleeding edge tech when you're dealing with such a diverse audience of users, drivers, preferences, technical prowess, economic scales. I mean, you kind of have to go with true proven, right? You can't necessarily gamble with the public.
Yeah, but that is always in conflict with making sure we adopt new technologies to become more efficient. More efficient versus proven. That's why it's been a very gradual process, because you need to cater to both. But I've seen back when I joined Indra in 2022. We went live with the here in Virginia, actually, with I-66 outside the Beltway.
Yeah.
Actually, crazy story. I was driving while it was bad behavior, but I noticed that there was nothing in the ground. Which, of course, I wasn't looking ahead.
Yeah.
But I noticed that there was nothing in the ground in the newly constructed.
She's looking at her
expressway.
phone. She's all over the place. No, I'm just kidding.
We can't help ourselves. We're tolling people. We see a toll system, we're going to look.
Yeah.
We're going to look with half an eye, but we're going to look. And so to me, I said, okay, well, this is real now. Between when I started in tolling to when it actually happened, first time I saw it took I think a good number of years.
Yeah.
It was a slow process. But from this point on, and I think once I joined Indra, I've been touting the all overhead, I think, quite heavily all over the place.
Right.
I'm going to take credit for some of this, but I see a quickening of then interest in not just all overhead systems.
Right.
And I know that a few other integrators have followed us down that route, to take systems out of the ground, reduce the civil work. So others are starting to come up with all overhead systems. And I hear and I see, again, we're already talking side fire. We've been demonstrating in some conferences, side fire tolling systems. We're talking about CV2X toll. We've
Yep.
just went live with CV2X stall deployment in North Carolina
Yes. Very familiar.
last year.
JJ's
So from that
world.
2022, Indra has taken a couple of other steps
Yeah.
ahead, even further than all overhead. And I see the industry is also quickening pace. I see the acceptance, I think, of that as the next step is sort of broadening, even if there is this kind of, the proven that never goes away. But the interest, the acceptance, the interest in reducing the infrastructure, right, is really has picked up pace, I think, considerably over the past 3-4 years.
Yeah.
I see that, and I think there are multiple factors: the availability of technologies, right, the fact that some of us are now talking about these options and presenting these options, and they're real, right? They can be physically piloted,
Yeah.
touched at a conference, etc. But also, I think personally, the what we're facing is the industry, right? Road usage charging,
Yeah.
lower 900 issue, right? Next nav. I think it gave us an impetus to go, okay, we have to make sure we're proactively protecting our tomorrow as well, in addition to also protecting our ability to collect revenue today. And we've always known that.
Yeah.
But there are external pressures now on the industry that are driving the quickening of the pace in that space.
That's great.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I hope you guys caught the V2X presentation, the panel in Orlando. This is where we presented our V2X stall solution, the one we went live with in North Carolina. It's a V2X stall plus safety using, that's a big big next thing. A very exciting discussion that happened there that are happening all over the industry.
Yeah, very
Did you get
exciting.
a chance to catch that?
Yeah.
Or you've
We
seen it
did,
somewhere else?
yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we saw. Yeah, we definitely caught that, and and it's amazing because I also spent some time down in North Carolina as well. And if you look at your guys' name at every venue I'm going to, it's out there. I mean, and that topic is really, it is the conversation to be having right now. So, yeah, you guys did a great job, and it's definitely exciting times.
Yeah. And
Very, very different.
yeah, absolutely.
Now a message from our sponsor.
The business of tolling is complex. Trusted by the world's most respected brands, CSG transforms every customer interaction, communications, billing, payments, and more into a smarter, more profitable outcome. Make more, save more, do more. CSG, solving tolling's toughest challenges simply.
I've known about Indra, right? But I was really doing my homework before this interview, and you guys do a lot. There's so much going on, not just mobility, but can you tell us a little bit about Indra? I know you guys are really a tech-forward company. Some of the technologies, maybe AI that you have that you're utilizing.
Yeah.
Indra is actually about this year. I think last year we're close to about 6 billion in size.
That's
We
great.
do have multiple verticals. Besides mobility, we also have air traffic, defense, airspace. One of the things we're doing, for example, now we're building FAA's ground communication system. So
wow.
every U.S. flight will be flying with Indra in a few years.
Oh.
Fantastic.
That's
wow.
crazy.
As of now, I think at minimum 1 out of 4 airplanes globally fly with Indra in some capacity or even more.
Wow.
But that's not my vertical. I'm strictly in mobility, and in mobility, we do. My space is hauling, ports, traffic management, ITS, connected vehicles.
Yes.
That's a space that I that I work in. We also do transit. We're a really large transit systems provider, transit payment systems. Our back office platform, which is multimodal, is the platform that's behind our newest claim to fame in that space, Transport for London. All the
very
tickets
good.
in London. That will be very soon. We're getting started. Very soon it will be all Indra. For example, we're very big in rail, station management. So a lot of transit business as well.
Yeah.
Besides the space that we kind of play in tolling.
So-
And in tolling itself, we've been doing this for 29 years, nearly 30 years.
Oh yeah.
We have
Okay.
about 3,300 lanes we've delivered globally. We process probably tolling wise about 30. Let me think. I think it's 30 million toll transactions per day, something
Wow.
like that. So in the United States, we've been for a long time, maybe 27
Sure.
years or so. But now is the time where things are getting quite exciting in tolling, and so we're really, I think we're now putting the effort to really grow in this marketplace. And it's always been obviously a big market.
Yeah.
Now, for whatever reason, we've kind of put a big push into getting ourselves known in this marketplace, even though we've been around for a while. And we've delivered some systems in the US, just done so quietly.
Sure,
And now
sure.
they have me and I talk about it.
There
so.
you go. You get it out there.
I mean, you're making waves.
Yeah. Well, and I would imagine just with the growth across the planet, really, and the demands have increased, to service all of that, it sounds like some great verticals. And thank you for sharing that for our viewers as well. I would imagine, technology like AI is going to really make it important for you guys in your, not just, for a keyword coin phrase that you're using, but I would assume from operation, data processing, are you doing that across the board, or is just tolling kind of one of those areas you're working in specifically where it's at the forefront?
Across the board, of course. We do, for example, we do back office, and not just in tolling, but in transit as well.
Sure.
And when it comes to customer service and account management, the next frontier, right? Agentic
Yes.
AI,
There
quite
you go.
exciting. So,
Very exciting.
we, like everyone else, we're trying to become more effective in that space. So that across the board, from tolling to transit to rail, in terms of specifically to tolling, absolutely. And not only in the back office side of things, but on the road side, actually, AI underlies basically most of what we do. We were the first integrator back in 2022 here in Virginia and a few places globally. We went live with an axle counting system that uses video and AI
Yes. I think I've seen
to
that.
count
yeah.
axles. And back in 2020, we went live also here in Virginia, actually, with we are actually the biggest video occupancy detection provider. We count individuals
Yeah.
in cars. That's AI, of course.
Yeah, of
And it's
Absolutely.
here, and you've driven probably 495, 395, 95 here, and 66 in Virginia, and that's AI looking into cameras looking inside vehicles, and AI counting
Yep.
people and discounting various attempts to cheat the system. And people are endlessly inventive, so there's a lot
That's
of
so
work
crazy
for
to
AI
me.
there to keep up.
My aunt is a notorious cheater. Like when I tell her, don't drive over here because you're going to get caught. But she does it out in California sometimes too. And I'm
Oh,
like,
get her.
don't stop it. Like they're going to get you, Aunt Bonnie. Like they
gonna-
don't realize
throwing her
how
under the bus.
advanced it is, because it is. You just can't put a dummy up front, right?
No.
Your technology is picking up movement. It's picking up natural face structures. Like the stuff out there is way advanced. It's not dummy proof, so to speak.
It's amazing what people come up with. There will be there was a person who was driving who glued two faces to the back of the back window of the car. Glued two faces, pretending that he had two more passengers there. Of course,
No
we're
way.
looking at the car from the front and from the side.
Yeah.
So we may see even the faces are visible from the front. There are no people there if you look laterally, or vice versa, right? If you're
crazy.
doing something and you're putting a face in your window here, we're gonna look from the front. We see there is no person, but there was a person that, I kid you not, that did that. They just glued two faces. dummies, you name it. Amazing,
You
amazing
should
inventiveness.
you should have a campaign that,
Yeah,
like compiles some funny videos of what people have
Yes,
done.
that would be the absolute
To make
best
sure-
video.
actually,
Like, make sure-
that's why you guys are marketing
Yeah.
genius.
See
Right?
Give us a call.
Oh, that's right.
That'd be so
We
fun.
laugh
Awesome,
about it,
yeah.
but I'm like, that does make it. It's hilarious. It's comical.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is
it is.
comical. But what that is are real use cases that
Yeah.
test the system, and you go, okay, caught you. You're a riot, but I caught you. So there are definitely lots of stories that could make a very good promotional video. But yeah, that's definitely AI.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
And it can see, AI can count wheels on the roadside, AI can count individuals, and do a lot of other things. Obviously, the reading license plates with AI is already nothing new. It's been around for a few years. That too. So AI is everywhere, on the front end, in the back, and also in a lot of other processing that happens on the back end, right? Unseen, it's taking over a lot of functions that used to be run by different kinds of algorithms.
Yeah.
And of course, I would think for any enforcement applications on the front end, the speed with which it can produce data, right?
Sure.
That's huge. So
Yeah. Well, let me ask you about another technology as we, go through this interview here. One of the things I was curious about is how to connect, as you mentioned, obviously connected cars, right? In-car payments, all of these experiences. How do you look at connected cars and autonomous driving? What are your comments there as far as the industry and Indra?
So it's for us, right? We're starting with connected cars that have a driver as an industry,
Right.
and we're making there's been some quickening up. We here in Virginia, I don't know that we went live in 2022 with V2X for safety, 9 use cases. We equipped operator cars with onboard units so that those cars would talk to the infrastructure, which has been producing a lot of useful data over these years.
Oh, good.
There aren't that many cars that are equipped with the right CV2X onboard units, with the right security certificates that infrastructure can listen to and produce data. But it was a very smart decision on the part of the operator to pre-equip this road and basically run this deployment, collecting enormous amounts of data, getting ready for the future. So now we know that FCC approved the spectrum rules in 2024. Now AMs are going to start manufacturing cars with CV2X OBs. Before you know it, there'll be more on the roadways. That's how it happens, right? Technology is upon us before we can even think about it. So tolling industry goes, okay, well, now that the rules are, let's talk about that. Let's talk about V2X tolling, right? Paying for tolls with your vehicle as another new in-car payment use case. And thinking, and I think rightfully so, that for OEMs, that's a way to finally monetize that connected vehicles investment. And personally, I think a great side effect of it is now that they have the impetus to monetize, to be able to do V2X tolling. That has enormous effect on safety, because the same infrastructure, that's what we did in North Carolina, the same roadside unit, different protocols, but it can handle both in-car payments, V2X toll application, and safety applications and safety messages, right? So you have these enormous benefits on the safety front because you monetize. That's how it works, and that's a great thing for all of us. But I would think at this point, we're still thinking about connected cars that have drivers.
Right.
Yeah.
When it comes to an autonomous car, who's your customer? Is it the car, or is that? And I think that's a huge question. Who is your customer? Is your customer the car? Is your customer the car owner, whoever is in the car at that moment?
Sure.
I think that's a big question to sort out with a lot of variables. And I don't know. I think that's the next step. I think we won't see as many autonomous cars as connected cars in the near future. Because I think that's a bigger proposition. But when that happens, some of them are already out there, right?
Yeah.
There are some Waymos. I mean, some of them are cab companies, so it's different. We know who the customer is.
Commercial
there.
cars.
But when individuals have, and if I had an autonomous car and my son took it to school, who's the customer? So maybe it's me because the car is still registered to me. But then what if it got stolen?
Sure.
That's
real.
a silly use case.
No,
there may
but
be
that's
so many different use cases.
But I think that goes to show to the public and to the viewers the depths at which you can't. It's not just it's a one perspective view. It's a multifaceted angle. That you have to look and analyze and see the impact. Because we joke, you joke about that. We joke about that. But honestly, like you said, the crazy things that are out there, right?
Yeah.
With what people try to pull, I think it's right. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have just a few minutes left. I know we could keep talking with you for a very long time, and there's so much more to learn about Indra
at least
and your expertise.
another 7 years.
right, exactly.
But I do want to ask, as we're kind of wrapping here, I mean, what should, whether it's government, agencies, organizations, prioritize when choosing a technology company such as Indra?
Good question.
Actually, I would say they should think about avoiding technology lock-in. Customer lock-in, I think, has always been a problem traditionally in our space because systems were so highly customized.
Right.
Yeah.
There was so much proprietary hardware, and systems were engineered and designed, and their physical layouts, the infrastructure, supporting infrastructure was designed specifically to that proprietary hardware, so that the next upgrade is incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredibly expensive too. You have to throw everything away and bring. So they have to think about commercial off-the-shelf hardware and infrastructure design that allows you to upgrade and exchange devices even. And the solutions faster without ripping everything off and throwing it away. So you could go from one provider to another. You do your, regular, hey, this is a government space, so those are competitive procurements, right? But go from one to another and reuse a great deal of this infrastructure that can be used from one or the other or the third one, because it's not designed around and focused on proprietary hardware, proprietary technologies. I think that's been a big, expensive issue in our space. And now with the explosion of options in the COTS marketplace when it comes to devices and electronics, it doesn't need to be that way. It can be a great deal more efficient. And that's what I'm thinking every time. And I'm really environmentally conscious person. I'm like, I can't believe we're throwing all this away. So
no, that's a great point.
That's what I'm thinking.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Something that can adapt, something you can build upon. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's important for agencies.
Yeah, absolutely. So if anyone wants to get in touch with you or Indra, how can they go about either learning more or connecting with you?
Well, if they don't know me in tolling, if they know me,
most people do.
or text me on LinkedIn. And I think they should, first of all, call me and text me on LinkedIn. But if they don't know me, they know where to find you guys. You know where to find me.
Absolutely.
And I think they should do that. They should call me. They should call you. Let's talk about overhead tolling. Let's talk about side-fire tolling. Let's talk about V2X tolling and all the other exciting subjects.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely we'll share that information out there, and we'll make sure if you check in the description, we'll put a link to Saida's LinkedIn profile, and of course you can reach out here to the show. And you did a great job just now of recapping those topics, and I think that these are the things we heard at IBTTA. These are the things that we're hearing in the industry, and I just want to say for the record, Saida, you have done. Not just for Mojo, right, and bringing us into the fold, into the world, but, to hear the impact and to see you out there and at all the different events and what Indra's doing. I mean, it's really inspirational. It's great to have a colleague like you out there and to say, hey, we know her, right? Like, look at those great things. Like, it does kind of give you a sense of a pride or a relationship to say, hey, that's really cool. Look over there. You got the chief organizers, you got the platinum sponsorships, you got all these different programs, and we see you in the folds of those those teams, and it's great to have you on the show today, and it kind of brings us full circle. And I just really want to sincerely thank you for being on the show today. It was a personal, gratifying moment, and professionally as well. So.
Yes, thank you so much.
Likewise. Personally, very pleasant. That whole it's all a bit of fun, but it is also very gratifying, right? That it's kind of a full circle. And it was very kind of you to say that. I didn't think I was that important.
Oh,
Now that
You
said
are.
these things,
absolutely.
my head, you've seen this visible gotten bigger. Kind of a problem. So you have
Yeah.
to stop saying these nice
Let
things.
it grow, dear. Let it grow. No, you've earned every bit of it. But
Yes, but it's very kind of you.
yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you. And thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's kind of you to invite me.
well, we hope you've enjoyed, as your viewers, I hope you've enjoyed meeting Saida and joining us on another episode of Toll Talk. We are going to continue to grow this organization and these conversations, and we hope you'll continue to tune in to stay in the know with what's happening in this industry and others. So thanks for joining, and see you next time.